Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to a new episode of Wound Farce, where we review and discuss your and our favorite comedy films. This is the world's first and only combination trivia host and professional wrestling announcer of Chilean descent that currently resides in Southern California, Ozzy V. And with me, as always, on this program, first in the Northern California Bay Area, world-famous juggler Greg Larson. How you doing, Greg?
You know, besides the fact that I'm worried I might have handed you a championship in fantasy football, I'm doing great.
Thank you. Thank you. As much as I hate the Chiefs, I gotta love Rasheed Rice for all the points he's getting me.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you look at the trade, and I think you won because I'm kind of hosed on running back right now. Anyway, moving
Mine's
on.
not even playing. He's injured.
I have two running backs.
That's fair.
One is Christian McCaffrey. Sure, he can score enough for two, but my other is Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, end of list.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I have backups that I'm hoping somebody gets traded, but we'll see what happens. Sorry, enough about football talk. Also with us, ladies and gentlemen, world famous Flesh Wound producer, Todd Loy. How you doing, Todd?
I hate when you
I
give
got
me...
the last name. I knew the last name was queued up. It's like in my head, the last name is queued up, and then there's like a little voice in my head that's like, I don't think he likes when you say his last name, and then the other voice was like, screw it, we're gonna do it anyway. And
All right, I'm gonna start saying your fave name whenever you do mine now. None of that V nonsense. Yeah, what's up now?
V stands for Venegas, but it's
or
too
does it
confusing
stand for Venegas?
Greg with a callback to my wedding where the pastor mispronounced my last name. I feel really bad for the guy because he literally practiced it 1,000 times the night before in front of me, and just that one time, the one time it needed, it's okay.
Every rehearsal we had, spot on.
Now, was it the rehearsal? Did he get it right? The rehearsal right before
he
the
got
ceremony?
it right
Yeah.
every other time.
Oh, wow.
We were on the phone with him.
Of live.
We were on the phone. Yeah, we were on the phone with him when we first were going over everything, and he started practicing on the phone like weeks ago. We heard him was perfect rehearsal. Every whatever take, I guess, for lack of a better term, perfect. And then we get to Mr. and Mrs. Venegas, like, and then my mom was just like, see her at the corner of my eye. No, I'm just kidding. She didn't do that. I don't know. She may have. I couldn't tell, to be honest. But anyhow, this week we do get to review and discuss the 1996 film The Frighteners, directed by Peter Jackson. Todd, do you have a trailer available?
Yes, we do.
Excellent.
There has been a destructive force unleashed on this town such as I have never seen.
Oh my God, I don't believe this is not happening!
We have got a poltergeist!
Okay, well, folks, I can do a clearance, but it's not going to be cheap. Although I do offer a 6-month guarantee.
That fellow takes us totally for granted.
Hey, Stuart, in or out, huh?
Frank Bannister had a remarkable ability.
Psychic investigator?
To communicate with the dead.
You can see spirits?
Emanations are normally confined to the cemetery.
You cannot push spirits around!
Although they do escape.
And an uncanny knack.
We're gonna scare the living daylights out of your parents.
For making a profit off the living.
We're supposed to be his business partners.
Everyone says that you're a fraud, but I've seen what you can do.
Give it up, Frank. Death ain't no way to make a living.
But now, some things put the fear of death in the living.
What is happening to me?
And send the dead running for their lives.
I've seen a figure in a cape.
That was the Soul Collector.
We have 28 unexplained deaths here.
Frank, we got problems. All these murders that have been going on in Fairwater, they're gonna pin them on you.
From Universal Pictures and Robert Zemeckis.
You're next, pal.
And acclaimed director Peter Jackson.
We don't stop till the screaming starts, you dig?
The Frighteners.
That was the trailer for The Frighteners, released on July 19th, 1996, with a runtime of 110 minutes, rated R, directed by Peter Jackson, also written by Peter Jackson.
Playing director Peter Jackson.
Playing director Peter Jackson. I'm sorry?
Yeah, no, I'm just saying acclaimed director already.
I thought you said playing director. Acclaimed director.
Acclaimed,
yes.
Yeah,
Acclaimed director Peter Jackson, written also by Peter Jackson and Fran Walsh, starring Michael J. Fox, Trini Alvarado, and Peter Dobson. In the trailer, I thought funny note is the theme from Death Becomes Her playing throughout the trailer. Robert Zemeckis nod. Yeah.
Universal used to like a lot of trailers. Kind of you'd hear scores that were familiar back then. You wouldn't.
And I also think they went with it because it was also another Robert Zemeckis film. Well, that was Robert Zemeckis directed film. He was executive producer.
Right. And speaking of which, can you just watching it, even the vibe and the music in the beginning, can you tell what this started out his life as? Robert Zemeckis is a clue, and the music in the opening, and the tone of the entire picture.
Back to the Future Part 4?
No. Tales from the Crypt.
Oh.
That's what it started out life as, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because you have Robert Zemeckis, and it was a Peter Jackson script submitted for Tales from the Crypt, and then it evolved into what it is.
Oh, wow.
Interesting. Now, I know we review comedies, and this is definitely a dark horror comedy.
It is one. This is one that I've put off for a while because it is heavy on the horror, but the comedy's still there. But then you have Michael J. Fox, so it kind of felt like it was in your wheelhouse. But it is a horror comedy when it comes down to it.
There's a lot of like, if you're familiar with Dead Alive, which Todd, I'm sure you are, Greg, and familiar. There's like specific shots that Jackson likes to use, like especially when closed up with the face, a lot of wide-eyed, like close-up shots, which totally fine for it, but it would have been interesting. And because I'm just this kind of individual, like he's like one of my favorite directors, I would have loved to see Joe Dante take a stab at this. That could have been fun. It would have, I think it would just been like, I think the comedy might have been highlighted a little bit more.
Right.
And it might have been a little bit more balanced. And I'm not complaining. There's moments in the film where it's very horror heavy, and it doesn't even feel like a comedy at all.
Right.
But I still enjoyed it throughout, which was anytime you have Gary Busey,
Gary Busey's son, Jake Busey.
I see it's the Busey name.
No, I get it. Jake Busey. This is the movie that made me like enjoy Jake Busey as a performer. But when I see like Starship Troopers, right?
Yeah.
See the face and you're like, okay, this is goofy. Like I don't know what it does. It's almost like it's similar to what's his face? Sean William Scott. Like you see his face and it's like, okay, this is what we're doing. Like I get it. But the movie did a great job at presenting a story like that, with Michael J. Fox playing this paranormal investigator who does con people with a couple of spiritual friends, which is that's a great premise. And to see something manifest like that made a lot of sense within that story. Like a paranormal con man would eventually run into this kind of issue. So it was a fun story to see take place and a fun story to see unfold. How about you guys for initial thoughts?
So I never even heard of this film, let alone seen it. But I mentioned it to my wife, and she knew of it and was like, "Oh yeah, that seems interesting." And then I ended up watching it and I go, "I think I need to rewatch this with her." Just because I think that additional horror aspect of it, which I was not expecting at all. I think she'd definitely enjoy a lot of. But I was just from the crew of people in it, I was excited to see what it was going to be. And it took some turns definitely not expected, and there was a lot of movies that I've seen in which you kind of know where it's going to go, but I didn't feel like where I thought it was going to turn, it did in a lot of elements. So I was really happy about it and its uniqueness, for sure. So yeah, this was one that definitely is great for the season, and I'm glad we kind of went through it.
Todd?
This one is a favorite of mine. Like, I've always loved Tales from the Crypt. Going into this, I already loved Peter Jackson from Bad Taste, Meet the Feebles, Brain Dead, Dead Alive, whatever you want to call the last one. So this was like his first big American film. Like, this was his introduction to America. And for me, it's probably my favorite of all of his films. It actually sets the blueprint for Lord of the Rings and home video releases after. Because I spent like $200 on the Laserdisc, which included the director's cut, which is 12 minutes longer than the theatrical cut, has a 4.5-hour making of.
Excuse me. Question.
Yeah.
Did you say $200?
Yes, this was a Universal.
This is a $200 on a Laserdisc, meaning
Well,
this was around 1998,
To
1999.
be fair, I ended up buying it secondhand because I missed the first run, which first run it would have been $149 retail. So going through eBay, I had to pay a little bit
In late
extra.
90s
Yes,
price.
in late 90s money.
Whew.
I mean,
So-
I feel really old to say late 90s money, but if you look at just gas prices alone,
I don't want to figure out what the adjustment is. I knew I paid a lot for it. But I'm not going to say I didn't sell a few bootlegs of that 4.5-hour documentary to kind of recoup, but whatever. Because I'm not going to say it. But yeah. So, but like I said, it's the blueprint, like the 4.5-hour documentary, like, and they cover everything. And obviously, like it's a little bit. It didn't succeed at the time. It grew its cult following later, but I think it's some of Michael J. Fox's best stuff. I think it's some of Zemeckis's, and like I said, Peter Jackson, probably my favorite film. But I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy.
Here's the thing. I mean, like, whenever, in my mind, whenever an executive producer is tagged, it's like, hey, what do you think? Sounds good. You know, like.
But Zemeckis has always been hands-on, especially starting out as Tales from the Crypt. It's not like, you know, it's just like he's going to be involved in it. Like, he picked, you know, the story and everything. So
I got you. It's just you see so much like
I get some
with executive producer Steven Spielberg. It's like, let's hold on a second.
Even him, he's going to be one that's more involved too. When you're looking at someone like Quentin Tarantino's on his name, it may be a little less. Presents. No, it presents. See, it just depends on who they are. It's more of a producer credits that's like a token credit, I think, than executive. But either way, it just depends. I know he was involved. Although I don't know if he went to New Zealand to shoot. So who knows? Maybe you're right.
Which set was it that you bought, Todd?
The Universal Signature Series.
Okay, got it.
Are you looking at how much it is now?
The price. Well,
Yeah.
actually, you know what? Maybe Greg can help you realize what it's worth now.
Oh, I
Just
did.
based on-
Yeah. Well,
What's it worth now?
With inflation of what you paid,
right,
it would have been around $380 of, you know, with inflation. But you're still looking at pricing on eBay around $200.
All right.
So
I think when I finally sold it, I think I got about 180.
Oh, I mean, you got your money back basically.
Yeah,
It was like a $20 rental.
Well, no, the thing about it is then it came out on Blu-ray with all the stuff for like $20, $25, like 2 years later. So
yeah,
but I got to watch it 2 years before because I loved the movie and I wanted to see that extra 12 minutes.
And if you wanted to select an exact frame, you could, Todd.
What do you mean?
Because on Laserdisc, you can actually select a frame.
Oh, yes.
Type in a frame.
Well, that was on the CAV size. And was this a CAV disc? I believe it was. Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Pre-owned, $200.
So
he's like, I may get it again.
So you mentioned the 12 minutes of stuff from the director's cut, theatrical cut, excuse me. Wow, that was one letter away from being very dangerous. Todd, are there any differences you can share major difference you can share with us, or are they mostly
there's
minor?
a lot because there's a lot of little scenes that they're added to. Let me look at one that like stands out. Like okay, I know a good one without going too in depth. There's a scene where Michael J. Fox is in his cell There's a whole run with Jeffrey Combs' character, and he basically makes the comment about him. Well, normally in this situation, they just self-delete. That whole situation's gone. So
got it.
some of it, both cuts are R-rated, but I feel like they push it a little more in the director's cut. It gives a little bit more of the, I don't know, I don't want to say the Peter Jackson humor. Like there's a shot where a character, I'm not going to say which, is ended, and then we see his ghost head. That was one of the things that jumps out which I think is a great shot too.
Oh, yes, that's one of my notes. It's just a phenomenal shot.
Yeah.
More ways than one.
But no, there's a bunch of just little extended stuff that really add to the plot. I don't feel it's like Alien, or Aliens, where I think you guys wanted more of the action. This all adds to the story, and I think the stuff that was pulled was probably stuff that it's not as necessary to the plot, but it gives that Peter Jackson feel, I think, a little more.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's get into our favorite moments here. Either of you guys want to kick off?
I'll take it just in case. I mean, when the judge starts making relations with the mummy sarcophagus, that was a great moment. I just hope, you never know, because he was an older gentleman. I hope that he found the theatrical cut, so. But that was definitely a favorite moment.
Well, I didn't even prepare. I thought I was going to be the only one with this scene.
Oh, I'm sorry, man.
That's all right. I'm just going to go with the specific line that gets me every time. You know what? I do have another one, so I won't do it. I'm going to go with the hemorrhoid donut.
That was
just
solid.
the way he delivers it, the whole thing. But yeah.
You're like, of course he would.
Yeah. I'll go with that. I did have a backup. But yeah, I got to go with the judge. They don't call me the hanging judge for nothing.
So actor R. Lee Ermey is in the film as one who patrols the cemetery and keeps the other spirits in line. And which, by the way, did you guys know that he's an actual military veteran? Spent 11 years in the Marine Corps. Did two tours. Okay. Did we discuss this already?
No, but I mean, most people know this because of Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go. But what I love about his particular character, and I love this so much because it kind of reminds me of Looney Tunes or just straight up cartoons, is that when he senses danger.
Short cartoons.
Yes. The short cartoons, 5 minutes tops. No, but he's this character goes from non-combat gear to all of a sudden he's in this combat gear and he has two giant machine guns in his hands, and just totally reminded me of just straight up Looney Tunes stuff, and just cracked me up.
Within that, there was that same scene and moment. He had gone into boxing gear, and Who Framed Roger Rabbit had the boxing glove and just hit Michael J. Fox. That was great.
Yeah. So that as an example of some of the humor that's injected into a somewhat grim story. So let's now get into our critiques. Greg, would you like to go first?
Yeah. This actually, the critique is just a philosophical question that it made me think about. Because at the end, spoilers, Michael J. Fox's character goes up to heaven, in which he meets his wife who'd passed away. And she sends him back down for him to immediately get in a relationship with this other girl. And it got me to thinking, I was like, wait, so at the end of all of this, if there's a heaven and you go there, are you stuck with all of your wives and exes?
There's a movie coming out in a few weeks that is dealing with that plot. It's the Titanic. Yeah. The guy goes to heaven and his wife shows up, but then his original wife, or is the husband, it's vice versa. And then that's the plot. I can't remember what it's called. It's coming out very recently. It's the whole,
Yeah, that is something that's making me very nervous. Like that is not an eternity that I want to deal with.
I give my wife shit all the time because of Titanic. Because I'm like, after this bitch dies, she goes to heaven to see that little rat she banged on the boat for like 2 days, and then she had this husband for like 80 years. It's not even in heaven there with them. Fucking Titanic.
and Leo's like, oh, you think you're upset because she cheated on you? I could have gotten on that door.
Right?
She didn't want to move over.
Selfish bitch. I'm trying to figure out the movie. I keep seeing the trailer. Maybe I'll update it next week. What that movie is. Maybe we'll have to review it.
Oh, it's a comedy. It
Yeah.
sounds like one of those heavy dramas.
No, it's
okay.
it's a dramedy probably.
Okay.
We don't have that section of the show.
Right. Do you have?
Otherwise, we'd already have done Chasing Amy.
It's a good movie.
Probably Kevin Smith's best work.
Let's not get carried away.
Yeah, Dogma's definitely better, but still.
And you know what? I'll say this because this was more, or the movie I'm about to say was more of a hybrid movie, and had like plenty of emotion to it. In fact, so much so that I kind of don't want to watch it again. Was Clerks 3?
Oh, I love Clerks. I've watched it many times.
Clerks 3 is fantastic, but that is some heavy stuff.
I don't even know if I should say this on air. I accidentally, when my buddy whose wife passed was over and we were hanging out watching movies, it was around Thanksgiving. So we did a double feature of totally unintentional Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Oh my gosh.
And Clerks 3. I felt like an asshole, but we just both know sold it. If you're watching this, buddy, my bad.
Oh man.
Yeah. Like we're
That
watching
is
Clerks
brutal.
3 and I see the picture on the cash register and I'm like, oh fuck. I remember like what we're going to do. So
Oh man. Yikes.
yeah.
Okay.
That was my fault.
To
be fair, he wanted to watch Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I just don't think either of us thought
like,
about that
around
whole
Thanksgiving,
fucking plot line.
around Thanksgiving, like how could you not like want to
Right.
watch the movie? Do you have a critique for the movie that we're reviewing?
I mean, the CGI is a bit dated now, but it's part of the period because I remember it being state of the art at the time. Just like the wall, Ghost in the Wall stuff was so like ahead of its time. But now it's like, okay.
It's definitely 90s and gives you that feel. Like
but it doesn't hurt it for me. But that's probably my one thing is the CG looks dated.
Once like once T2 and Jurassic Park hit, like that completely changed the CGI game, right? However, you can watch either of those movies, Jurassic Park or Terminator 2, and a lot of the effects still stand up today, which is incredibly impressive. So they spent a lot of money on that stuff. So you can tell like, okay, they cut some corners here, so it's not going to look as good. But as watching, my mind kind of shifted into like 1996 mode, and seeing the stuff inside the wall was like, wow, that's cool. Like,
doesn't look like The Mummy Returns, so we're good.
Yeah, well, and to go on that, I mean, we were my wife and I watched the Casper not too long ago, and same kind of idea. We looked at the CGI and we're like, oh yeah, it's a little dated, but it brings us back to a different time. And then last night, actually, we went and watched the 1950s House on Haunted Hill, and whereas that was possibly a horror when it came out, like the whole theater was laughing through because it was a little cheap. There weren't really special effects, but it was
they were just effects.
Yeah, they were effects.
Not special.
Yeah. and they were a bit rough. And so like I did have a moment of like, oh, that's outside of my time, but let me try to put myself back there, when this was shocking, when we weren't desensitized from things like the 1999 House on Haunted Hill. That was very different,
Still good fun.
Didn't that have Chris Kattan in it?
Yeah. Or wait, that's 13 Ghosts, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But those, same company, same era. So
continue.
Yeah, but yeah,
maybe it is.
Same idea.
I don't remember. Sorry.
Yeah,
I just thought things like, wow, Chris Kattan in this movie.
Which one is he? And he's
so
in
out
one
of
of those.
place.
Now I got to figure it out.
Okay. So, but Todd, it was your CGI.
Yeah, I mean, if
you had to find a biggest critique, if you had to find,
I do love this film and watching it again. I got to watch it in 4K, 7.1 sound this time, so it was nice. I was excited.
I was really pleased with this movie. I mean, usually I love it when movies are 90 minutes long. If you have extra story to give me that's actually worth it, I'm on board. And this was, it was over 90 minutes by about 20, but I didn't mind it. I loved how everything flowed, and it's really, really hard to find a critique in this. So if I had to find one, and this is really me digging, is that I would have liked to see a little bit more humor in to break up some of the, because there's some really tense moments, right? And I love when you can break a really tense moment with some humor, right? And I'm not Peter Jackson, obviously. And again, this isn't me like saying like, oh, the movie would be so much better if they did this. This is like, if I just had to think of a critique, that would be the one thing I could think of. But overall, I thought it was great. But that's the one thing. If I had to name something,
not that you could tell it was New Zealand and not America.
Now, I do got a question. He's considered a con artist in this movie, but on the purposes that people don't feel that the ghosts exist, not that he's setting it up. So, like, is he actually a con artist? Like, I mean, because he is, but the ghost thing is happening. So
he's the con artist, but not on the con artist they say he is, because he's seeing the ghost, but he's still he's conning them with the ghost, not conning them about the ghost.
On it.
Yeah. So this is like a broken clock's always, it's always right twice at least. Yeah. They're right, but not in the way they think they are.
Yeah.
All
right, so let's get into the ratings. Greg, would you like to kick it off?
This was a surprising movie for me. I was expecting a little more comedy, but I wasn't upset about where it went. It was a fun film. Took some fun turns. Loved the cast, and got dark for a while, and in a very surprising way. So this is going to go on a rotation for me. So this is a 5. I really enjoyed this movie.
Yeah, I'm obviously a 5. I love this film. And yeah, it's one I tend to watch around the season. It's a perfect Halloween time movie.
Now, I did preface by saying, like, if I had to find the critique, I would find ways to put more humor in it a little bit. I did not give it as high a mark as you guys. I did give it a 4.
It's okay. You're not a horror guy too, so that
I'm not, which I mean is saying something. But I will say this can definitely be one of the movies that I can listen to while driving to keep me awake. Which, I mean, that's a plus, because I love how from start to finish it just there's no lag. It feels just constantly keeps going and giving you pieces of the story, and there's no BS, for lack of a better term.
We're never going to get another Back to the Future, so this is just more prime Michael J. Fox too.
Right. Yeah.
So that's not a bad thing.
Not a fan of Secret of My Success?
Oh no, I love Secret of My Success.
Doc Hollywood, or
Doc Hollywood, not so much. But Secret of My Success, yeah. I watched that when I'll pull an Aussie, way too young. But no, I got something. I got a little video clip. This comes from the Laserdisc about the making of. It's just a little brief thing. I think you'll enjoy it. Here you go.
The funniest bloopers that happened in the Frighteners, and it happened a couple of times, was when Michael forgot what film he was in.
We were doing this scene with the judge, and I was supposed to call out to him, and I just kept saying Doc from Back to the Future. It was like some weird out of body thing.
Little cook in the Pony Express, huh, Doc? Whoa! I called him Doc. It's fucking back.
Just go, Doc, I'm Judge. Shit.
Hey, boys! Break up!
Doc! Doc, I did it again.
There you go. I thought you'd find that humorous.
That's awesome.
That is great. It's also nice to see guys. Just recently rewatched the Curb season where Larry's in New York and Michael J. Fox is living above him and the whole fifth Parkinson's thing. Oh man. So it looks like that the Frighteners is not available to stream at the time of release of this episode.
I could have swore it was on Peacock if you want to watch the theatrical
It is
version.
Peacock, and it stated it's leaving in 6 days as of October 25th.
Well,
so basically leaving on Halloween.
So if you're watching it today, or watching our show today, you have time to get it in before it disappears.
Yes, if it's not the 31st of October, you can still stream it on Peacock, which we highly recommend you do. It's a fantastic Halloween movie. And in case you happen to be in the Orange County area this week, I'll be hosting trivia this Tuesday at the Rush Barn Grill in Lake Forest, beginning at 7 o'clock, and this Wednesday at the Brewery in Placentia, also beginning at 7 o'clock. Both nights free to play and prizes for the top winning teams. Do you guys have anything else before you head out for the evening?
This Wednesday on Flesh Wound Horror will be our annual Halloween party. Come watch classic Halloween commercials. We're gonna watch the Resurrection of Michael Myers Part 2 fan film, the Swedish film we watched Part 1 last year, and a bunch of other tricks and treats. So that'll be fun. And then on Halloween, we're gonna have a special secret something special. We'll announce it on Wednesday.
A super secret something special.
There you go. Super secret something special. And Ozzy won't be there, so that makes it even special.
Last time I heard about something like that happening, somebody got something in their eye.
Okay.
So wear goggles.
Yeah, you might want to. This is not a bad suggestion.
All right. So for world famous juggler Greg Larson and Flesh Wound producer Todd, I'm Ozzy V, and we'll see you next week right here on a brand new episode of Flesh Wound Farce.